everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady, and today I am at the J.C. Ralston Arboretum in Raleigh, North Carolina, looking for things that are blooming or looking exceptionally interesting in the middle of January. And I didn't have to walk very far. As you can see behind me, all of the snowdrops or galanthus are in full flower. So let me turn this camera around so that you can get inspired by all of the beautiful flowers of January right here from Central North Carolina. So first, I just want to acknowledge this absolutely incredible Japanese maple. It's pruned to perfection, and underneath it is an amazing stand of snowdrops or galanthus. Now I'm gonna try and zoom in here. Galanthus are one of those plants that I think English gardeners are really obsessed with. And you know, when you only have like one or two, they don't really make that big of a difference in your landscape. But when you have them planted in mass like this, it's a really big impact. They're a winter active, winter flowering bulb. This is absolutely when they're supposed to be in bloom. And they really are just such a great harbinger of the next season to come. This is a stand of Galanthus elwesii, also known as snowdrops. And yep, this is exactly the time of year that they should be blooming. I think that's why they are so popular. They just kind of get you excited for the seasons to come. I first grew galanthus when I worked at Montrose, and Nancy was a certified galanthophile. I don't actually have any in my current garden, but I certainly enjoy looking at them here. Mid-January equals Prunus mume season, the Japanese flowering apricots. And I have 5 cultivars at home, but the Arboretum has a lot more varieties that I wanted to showcase today. Well, this is Prunus mume rosebud, and aptly named with these sweet pink buds that open up to a much softer pink double form of flowers. And well, you can see Prunus mumes are relatively large trees, and here they have a bench under it. It's a perfect spot to sit in the shade during the summer. Is Prunus mume toji bai, and this is a beautiful white form, single petals, which you can see slightly different from the double form of the rosebud. And again, remembering they have a slightly awkward natural habit, so they aren't always the nicest form, but the fact that they're fragrant and blooming in January is what really makes them so extraordinary. Again, this is toji bai. And here we have Bonita, which is the same variety that I have planted in my front yard, which is also in full bloom right now. You can see this tree is really old. I bet it's at least 20 years old. You can see how large the trunk is. And I think mine are a bit farther ahead. I have more flowers open, but this is definitely starting to put on its show. Now here is a plant that has long been on my want list that I haven't been able to get. This is the bright yellow winter sweet, Camellias praecox luteus, and it is just so outstanding, and it blooms a month later than the one that I have at home. So I'm gonna keep it on my list of plants that I'd like to acquire. So another very reliable winter bloomer is Mahonia. And the great thing about Mahonia is no animals browse it. So it's really tough and tolerant of, you know, shade and dry, but it'll also tolerate moisture. This is a variety, a hybrid called Winter Sun. And well, it's exactly what it looks like. Winter Sun. Beautiful yellow blooms, and on a warmer day would be covered in bees. And this has long been a Mahonia that I've admired. I don't really have many Mahonias in my garden. It's because they get so large I don't have room. But this is a cultivar of another hybrid called And you can see it's got more long pendulous flowers that are also open right now on a very cold January day here in the Raleigh, North Carolina area. Of course, January means it's Camellia season. And I am actually doing a webinar for the Ralston Arboretum very soon called Camellias Unveiled, where I go through all the information you need to know for how to successfully grow them. And of course, I feature some of my favorite varieties, including this amazing to know for how to successfully grow them. And of course, I feature some of my favorite varieties. This is Camellia hymalis Rose of Autumn. I believe this is one that was introduced by my dear friend Bobby Green out of Fairhope, Alabama. And it's one that usually starts blooming in mid to late fall and then continues into the winter. Here we have another great hybrid camellia. This is a variety known as Yume, Y-U-M-E. And it is a very distinct flower in that it has both pink and white petals on each flower. And it's an abundant bloomer, you know, not so much a show camellia, really great as a landscape camellia. And that's an important consideration when you are looking at camellias, how you're going to use it. Do you want one that sets out larger flowers but fewer of them at a time, or do you want one like this that's going to be absolutely covered in blooms so that your landscape looks amazing? Here we've got this really adorable hybrid, again from Bobby Green. This is Camellia Greens Blues. And the reason for that name is because of the blue hue that the petals pick up from having freezing temperatures at night. Now you can see by the size of my hand, this is a nice almost boutonniere or miniature sized flower. And it's on a really handsome shrub that is pretty sizable. And that's one of the misconceptions that people have about camellias, is that they can be kept as a green meatball, and really they look so much better when they're left to be natural. They ultimately grow as kind of open shrubs or small trees. And just wanted to give you guys a preview of some of the improvements that are going on here at the Arboretum. They are getting a fancy new copper roof on the Necessary, which is an iconic building here, and it houses the restrooms on the far side of the Arboretum. Well, and though this Japanese maple isn't flowering, it's definitely worthy of your attention for winter interest because of the incredible yellow bark. This is, of course, Acer palmatum Bihou, and it's such a beautiful Japanese maple. And I had to include a Japanese maple because I am here at the Arboretum today because I did a podcast with Matt and Tim Nichols of Mr. Maple. They've been long time friends of mine, and I was so excited to catch up with them, and I'll be sure to share a link when that podcast comes out. But I hope you will all be inspired by this video, and I do hope you'll plan a visit to the J.C. Ralston Arboretum here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Happy gardening.